second. We have a humor thread. Let's go back to the beginning. Is the Federal Reserve really secretly buying up all the houses, and why? Where have all the houses gone? The inventory of homes for sale is startlingly low. The pandemic is part of the reason, but it's not the whole story. And they're saying that hedge funds, banks, the Federal Reserve are buying up houses en masse. That is because anyone with common sense, when the economy is as shaky and speculative as it is, people want to take their money out of the dollar, put it into assets, put it into land. That's what I'm an advocate of. I like real estate. I can't give you crypto advice. My best advice for any type of investments on the stock market or crypto is treat it like a casino. Like if you are going to go travel, get in your car, put your little Walt Disney hat on, and go drive to your local casino, okay? How much money would you bring to a casino? You know, it's your first time. You might bring $100. You might bring $200. You might have a really good job and you can afford to bring $300 or $400. That's how you should look at investing. Use money that you're willing to lose. Okay, and diversify. Have a lot of eggs in a lot of baskets. China is the biggest buyer of real estate in Canada, for sure. I don't know about America. It all depends on where you live, really. It's so localized. America's so vast. Like, for example, in New York, the Hasidic Jews are buying all the land in huge numbers. Big colonies of Hasidics. Let's see what some people are saying. Hedge funds are getting them at zero interest, yada, yada, yada. I am actually refinancing at a perfect time. I had a 3.5%, but I'm getting it down to 2.75, and the rates are starting to go up, for sure. Definitely you want to lock in those fixed rates, because fixed debt is going to be good in inflation, because that debt always remains the same. Whereas the cost of a hamburger might go up to $100, but your debt won't go up. You might actually have more money to pay off that debt, theoretically. If wheelbarrows of money, you know, think about that. That's who survived in the big collapses of the past, whether it was in South America or wherever. People with tangibles. Here in Canada, houses are going for $150K over asking price. Something big is going on, bros. I'm scared. Pepe and Bobo sledding. Bobo. It's so funny. Toronto or Vancouver, yada yada. Let's see what this guy has a... The funny thing is, people looking to buy houses even in the suburbs are complaining on Reddit and other sites about, I made an offer, then someone else made an offer 15% above asking, no contingencies, cash, 1 day close, no inspection, lose the deal. But listen, this is normal. The problem is let me give you the real problem. Yes, people are buying houses at a record rate. Yes, this is localized depending on where you are. If you live in the middle of a Kansas cornfield, you know, maybe the houses around you aren't being bought at a rapid rate. You might live somewhere where they're not building new houses. A lot of places on the East Coast are like that. And then there's a lot of places that are building massive amounts of houses. And let me tell you, as somebody that bought a house, went through the whole process, it's normal to find a place and have someone else come in and with a cash offer, and they'll sell it to that person. That's normal. That happens. It wasn't a corporation that did it. We wanted to get happy we didn't get the house because it was small. We got a way bigger house. you know, more value for the buck. And but somebody swooped in. It was like a young college girl buying a house basically, but it was the parents buying it for her, and the, you know, daddy swooped in and paid cash, and they sold it away from us, which was good though. It was all meant to be. But that's normal. People go on Reddit, oh, it closed early, this, that, and keep looking, you know, keep hunting. You're not gonna find your dream home, you know, just because Stacy and Chad are like, we found our dream home. There's a lot of other homes out there. The best right now, if you could buy land, any cheap land, like people want to talk about investments, you know, I have, you know, people always ask, I have $10,000, I have $5,000, what should I invest in? You should buy land in the middle of nowhere. Right now, in any state that you live in, I can't say this for, you know, population dense areas like, you know, Washington, D.C., obviously. Or I don't really know Maryland too well, but what I'm trying to say is, but we'll say 49 out of the 50 states, in your state there is land in the middle of nowhere that is dirt cheap. I mean like $5,000, $10,000. It might seem like worthless land to you. You can go up there, go camping, it's your land, eventually you could build something on it. What I'm trying to say is that land is going to be worth more than gold someday, because you can't print more land, you can't mine more land. You look at Dubai, where you tried to create the man-made islands, they sink into the ocean. The Chinese can't build man-made islands, right? You got to buy land. Yes, like right-wing cyber shogun is advocating to buy land too. I agree. That's my next step, is to buy more land, more property. But it's all small steps. You got to work your way up. But right now it's historic low interest rates, and take advantage of that. Whether they're keeping them low and, you know, artificially, you should take advantage of it, because they're only going to go up back to 5%, 8%, you know, which is wild. Wild. Buy land out in the middle of nowhere. You could buy like 100 acres in the California desert for like $3,000, you know, literally. And that, it might be worthless, no water, just barren dust, you know, rock, this disgusting desert. But someday California might want to build a highway through your land, and they offer you millions of dollars. Or they just eminent domain you, right? Because it's California, California. My whole point is this: you don't have to invest in crypto. You don't have to invest in the stock market. I again, just like a casino, I have investments in both. Little investments. You can always donate down below cryptocurrency. Show me your investments in crypto. But what I'm trying to tell you is, there's many paths to victory, and you as a sovereign king, you know, of the land, American, right to own land, right to property, you should own as much property as possible. You shouldn't keep all your money in a bank account. You shouldn't keep all your money on the stock market or in a meme wallet of a cryptocurrency. Buy assets with it. I wouldn't recommend buying cars, because cars devalue right away. You know, rich people that own a lot of property, they buy a ton of cars, right? Because they don't care at that point. And so maybe you'll get to that point, and then you could buy 1,000,000 cars, but land does not devalue the even in crashes, guys. Look at the last 50 years. We're gonna cut this whole thing out and make a video for CHN3, because this is a pretty long rant. Last 50 years of home values, okay, it's just gone up. Even in crashes, when it dips, it just goes up. It's like, it's the best looking stock chart or cryptocurrency chart over a 50-year historic, you know. And then, I mean, what's going to happen? That property value in America is going to plummet? I mean, yeah, someday, right? When the sun blackens. Let's see what you guys are saying. El Deuterino 86 on Twitch. is saying, dude, you can even buy some great pieces of land way up in Northern California, out in the Sierra Nevada. Beautiful. It's so beautiful up there. Out in the Sierra Nevadas and whatnot. Forest and mountains for those who hate the dead. It's so true. He's giving out my secret. Don't tell him. No, but for real. I love it. I just love forests, trees, mountains, rivers, waterfalls. The beach is great too, but I mean, too expensive and dangerous. You got like water, right? But all that, I mean, you can live in these like Texas wasn't ready for the winter. You know, all their infrastructure wasn't ready. For example, Florida, living on the coast, you're ready. Like the windows are storm proof, and smart people build their houses on stilts, really strong stilts, you know. And then when the water comes in, you're just sitting up there, you know, living life. Make sure your stilts are really high. Now, I wouldn't like living on stilts. I don't like walking like groceries upstairs. I used to live on the 3rd floor in Los Angeles. I lived on the 4th floor once with no elevator. Horrible, okay? I don't care how fit you are, how much you go to the gym, how awesome you think all that stuff is. After a long day of work and going to the gym, you don't want to carry groceries up 4 flights of stairs. I don't care how chipper you are to do your CrossFit, okay? After going drinking out with the guys or going out on a date with a girl, going home, you don't want to walk up 4 flights of stairs or walk up to your still house. You know, still house might be different because you own it. You know, apartments suck when you live on the 4th floor. But I enjoyed apartment life at that time of my life, being a bachelor, living in apartments. You know, it's fun for a time, but it's not something you want to do forever. Right? That's my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I would rather live in a cabin out in the woods. You can afford that way more than your like Los Angeles apartment. Right? But that's my rant about houses. I am definitely pro real estate because it's like the American dream, you know? Let's see what this guy's saying. He's attesting to how hard it is, I think. So he's green texting, live in a not even high cost of living area, living in my parents' house with my wife, saving up money to just buy a house and not have to F around with rent. Parents still charges rent even though my father makes 6 figures by himself, and they don't live extravagantly at all. What's good work ethic. It's whatever, it's $725 a month. That's nothing. I mean, maybe for an apartment. No utilities and still better than rent. Yeah, it is. At least he understands that. He has some appreciation. Just to rent a cockroach-filled apartment next to... Corona happens, riots happen, Biden presidency begins. We've managed to save up $15K. That's good job. But it isn't even going to effing do anything. All the houses around us are starting to approach $200 per square foot. Even effing mobile. Why would you... This is what blows my mind. Guys, our forefathers got into wagons, ox-drawn carts. Okay, ever hear of the Oregon Trail? Ever hear of the, what are they? Who are the Kansas people? The Sawyers or the Sewers or who are they? They might not even be Kansas, but somewhere out there, they basically were like, get your wagon, get your family, any land that you get. Okay, it's like a race. Just race out there, claim land, it's yours. Okay, maybe this. I don't know. You guys know who I'm talking about. Not the Sawyers. It's a funny name, the Soothers or something like that. But my whole point is this. You need to go outside of your cities. Leave your family nest areas. Leave your comfy, oh, I know the postmaster. We're family friends, and I go to the same grocery store, and Bob's been bagging my groceries since I was a child. Wake up! I wish I could smack you around. Leave your cities. Go out to American adventure. Go out into the woods. Go out into the Great Plains. Go buy where you can afford. Stop with this, oh, I don't want to commute. You got to start commuting. Okay, this is the modern man, modern day. What was it, Louis Theroux? Who's the guy that wrote? I don't know. No, I don't think it might not be Louis Theroux, but the guy that wrote Walden Pond or whatever. Great American author. Walden Pond. It's about living away from society, right? We have to return to that. I'm not saying live off the grid, but you can now. It's Starlink. You can live off the grid. Okay, let's get some music back on as I rant. Okay, hopefully that's elevator music. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but listen, 45-minute commutes, no biggie in this day and age, guys. You put some music on, put on Bellagio, and you ride. But maybe it's time to find a whole new area. But he's saying now, any house under 300K is a piece of crap. It's not necessarily true. Let's just say that I looked at 10 houses. A majority of them were, because I'm not rich. The price range we were looking at houses, some of them were fixer-uppers. But we got a beautiful house, God provided us, and built in the 80s, very strong house, and it's great. We're upgrading things that need to be upgraded, but definitely not as old as some of the other ones, But they have to keep looking. You can't just look for a week. This process is a month-long process, month long to find a good house. And you're not going to find the first house you look at is not going to be the one that goes through, unless it's really you get blessed, unless it's meant to be. We're trying to buy just a small, nice, and modest starter home that I can afford on my own, so the wife can quit her job and start raising our family. But the future looks absolutely bleak. We're so effing sick of living with my parents, as we don't want to have kids in their house because my mother is a control freak. But the alternative is to just lose more money and live near. He keeps saying that. I mean, you got to grow up a little bit. It's not good to live in an apartment. I agree with you there. You do not want to live. You don't. I don't know where he lives. He obviously lives somewhere where there's a lot of foreigners in his city. What he calls them. Maybe you could rent a house somewhere, a small house, small cottage, $1,300 was his budget or something, which is non-negotiable these days. Wow, we're still working them. What effing country can we F off to where I can keep my guns and not be in this hellscape? It's not effing off. See, I think this guy's a shill, to be honest. It works for the writing guild, They literally hire writers. Because it's a heart, they pull on your heartstrings. I don't believe this last part. Why don't you just move to another state? Why do you have to leave the entire country? Is it because you've been living in your hometown with mommy and daddy for so long that you identify all of America as your small, crappy community? How about that? How about you wake up, Anon? Mr. JEORUKF2ID, anonymous, who posted 320. I hope you're real. I pray for your family. You're going to make it. You're going to survive. Take advantage of saving money now and keep looking for houses. Get a realtor. Don't screw around, guys. Realtors don't cost that much. They take the money out of the loan. For an extra $1,000, you have someone doing all your work. Finding the houses, helping you out. Like, he didn't mention a realtor once here. That's why he's looking at crappy houses. He's looking on Zillow probably. Don't do Zillow, guys. Get a realtor out there. Honestly, or become a realtor if you want to do it yourself, Build your own internet, become your own realtor, honestly. The becoming your own realtor part is probably more realistic than building your own internet. Okay, this guy has a decent amount of cash, plus 3 houses in disparate markets. desperate or disparaged markets with a combined equity value of 2,017,000. Yeah. Only 112 left in mortgage debt, plus another 170 in investment securities. Investment security. It's like stocks and stuff, guys. I'm 31, my parents are millionaires, and I'm an only child. Also, I vote straight Democrat just to piss off poor whites. Let's see what this guy says. Another shill, right? We believe everything you say. Yes, yes. Just because you wrote it on a Baskin Weaving forum, we believe it. There's, sometimes there's... Someone said that he's Chinese, probably. And someone asked if he's a merchant. Disparate. I don't know that one, guys. Not looking it up. Bros, give me some advice. I like where this guy is headed so far. I feel the spirit of his post already. He could be real. Got a nice 1,700 square foot, 4-bedroom, 2-bath home for sale near me that I'm eyeing. It's listed for $32K. What? Inside, this guy might live off the beaten path a little bit. $32,000 for a house. Yeah, I'm not even going to read any further. Buy it. Go ahead. Inside, the exterior looks fine apart from needing some new paint and a hole in the roof patched. Okay. So it cost, I forgot, I think $5,000 for a new roof. I'm young and not dumb, so I can fix all that over a weekend. Main issues is 1,500 foot from train tracks. Oh, okay. The main issue is it's 1,500 feet from train tracks, and all the neighbors are dirt poor that sit on porches all day, like at a zoo, he's saying. It's 2 blocks straight shot from the city downtown, though, which is about to get $50 million in real estate development. It's a small-ass town, so that's huge. I'd like to own a home and live on it my own, but at the same time, how bad could it be living around people of different culture? I've always been kind of separate from them in my white neighborhoods. Let's see what a 4chan response is. Don't do it. I lived around other cultures for 10 agonizing years as they slowly invaded my neighborhood as urban sprawl took over. It's all about location. I'm going to give you my opinion after I read all this. You can expect loud parties at night with drugs, shootings, have your gas cap stolen off your vehicle, have your doors checked every night by teenagers. In addition, you can probably also expect to have anything kept in your garage stolen out of it if you happen to leave it open for any length of time. Don't do it. Former suburban Memphian from Memphis, Tennessee. So, again, it's all about location, guys. This guy might live, I don't know, somewhere where there's a little bit more culture, not as much hip-hop activity. If this is his only investment, I say don't do it also. You'd rather buy something in a decent neighborhood, for a little more. But if he's gonna buy it, fix it up and sell it, great investment. Great investment. Look at this, Lands of America, guys. $12,900 for 5 acres, basically. 4.5. Seligman, Arizona. In Yavapai County. This could be yours. This is beautiful. Just bring a trailer out there like Breaking Bad and just live. Get your Starlink satellite. Okay.